Hey, Goddesses and Adoni, it's Warrior Wednesday once again. It's time for call number 5 in the Wow War United Fall Session. It has been an exhilarating couple of weeks where I've been watching your successes. Those $1,000 parties just keep on rolling, and they're so inspirational. Congratulations to Linda Norton, Lauren Goyette, Sarah Young, Jody Eno, Amy LeBrecue, Amanda Hines, Kim Boulay, and to all of you who have been experiencing great success at your parties the last few weeks. And how about the recruiting? Wow. Talia Kocha has recruited 5 new people in the month of October. Chrissy Shedd and Ronnie Lemoyne have recruited 6 each for the month of October. And let's talk about Ronnie Lemoyne for a moment, shall we? This gentleman recruited his 6th person on his 30th day with Athena's. He is the first person in company history ever to recruit that many people within their first 30 days. Impressive. So when Ryan Lahr recruited him in Las Vegas, he certainly hit the jackpot. Congratulations, Ronnie. So this October BBW, I just want to step back a little bit, was a huge success with Cece's informative lube workshop. You know it's going to be a fun night when goggles and rain slickers are required. Lauren Goyette's hilarious goddess demo was everything I expected it would be. She shines. What a night. It was especially exciting, though, to see Julie Gallagher and Janet Ayotte win trips to Bermuda. Congratulations, ladies. And to everyone who participated in that BBW. It was definitely one for the record books. There's something magical about traveling. And it's even more life enriching when you travel with a large group of people like Athena's. Our upcoming trips to Bermuda in 2017 and Hawaii in 2018 have really inspired Goddesses and Adoni to work their businesses so that they can earn those party profits to pay their way to paradise. I was so touched when I read Mandy Emery's blog. In it, she shared that her husband, Patrick, and her have never taken a honeymoon. In fact, they've never, ever traveled. Their lives have been frugal and focused on family, and an extravagant vacation was totally out of the question until September, when she opened up that white envelope containing the details to Bermuda. The honeymoon she never had is happening. She vowed to work a little harder to make it happen. And once she committed, she had a $2,000 weekend in sales. She made her car payment, her bills, and her down payment for her trip. She was able to pay for it all in just one weekend. So she was able to prove to herself that she could pay the bills and pay her way to paradise. Congratulations, Mandy. I wish I could just hit the fast forward button and get you and Patrick on that boat right now. You deserve this trip, and I can't wait to experience it with you. And of course, there's Sarah Monroe's campaign, Beach Day with Ma OJ. She is traveling with us to Hawaii. Why? Because her Grammy had saved up the money to go to Hawaii. She was ready to travel when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. So she put her trip off and then sadly passed away. So Sarah Monroe is going to fulfill her Grammy's dream of traveling to Hawaii and having orange juice on the beach. Sarah, that story took my breath away. Grandmothers are so special. They teach us so much about life and how short it is, really. I'm glad that you're going to live out this dream for you and for her. Things at Athena's have been going really well. It's been an amazing couple of weeks. And is it because each morning I take Sue Guiher's advice and I set an intention for the day? I'm going to do something today that helps grow Athena's. Well, this past Monday, I set the intention that 100 of the 284 new people recruited since the last session of the new community would join this new session of new. Well, 145 of them joined the latest new community. Ladies and gentlemen, that's half. Actually a smidge over half. Half of the people that you recruited recently are engaged and want to learn more about this business. 50%, that's way above average for direct sales. 50% of the people are engaged. Wow, I'm so proud. Thank you for sharing the opportunity with people who want to make this business a positive and profitable part of their lives, because this business and the profits it generates changes lives for the better. I had the great pleasure of seeing Katrina Vidal, now Katrina Fallon. I got to see hashtag dildos for wedding bells come to fruition when she walked down the aisle beaming with joy 11 days ago. Her big, huge smile said it all. She accomplished exactly what she set out to do. She married the love of her life in a beautiful ceremony and then danced the night away with her family and friends surrounding her. She set her mind to it. She worked consistently to make the money she needed, and she celebrated her big day. Katrina is the perfect example of what working this business consistently can do for your life. And the content of this call actually focuses on consistency, how to create it and maintain it in your business and in your life. And I'm going to do something I've consistently done throughout this program. I'm going to ask you to close out of your social media and really focus on the content of this call. You don't multitask when it comes to learning. You monotask so that you absorb the information. And here's your first code word. First code word is this, THIS. Your first code word is this. I'm going to ask you to give yourself permission to connect to the call and the content to get the most out of it. If you're checking Facebook or typing emails, it's not going to stick. You're here. Really be here. And here to provide you with a thought-provoking call on consistency is Sue Guiher. Take it away, Sue.
Hi, hello, Athena's Goddesses and Adoni. This is Sue Guiher coming to you for week number 5. Can't believe we're in week number 5. I've missed you guys. So today's call, I want to be interactive, meaning as you're listening to me talking, I want you to answer back to me. Almost like we're all in the same room together. I want you to be fully engaged with this. So wherever you're listening, maybe you need to close the door. I want you to be answering out loud, because we're answering out loud to the questions I'm going to be asking you. You're reinforcing for yourself. You're re-engaging. I know that some of you are taking notes, and I know that's good. That's very active. But I want you actually answering, because I'm going to be asking you some questions, because I want to see where you are. It's the end of October, and we've been doing a lot of great things in the WOW and War United program. I've been seeing how many people, how your sales are coming, how your special October parties have been coming, really cool stuff, and also how your recruiting is coming. And tonight we're going to talk about consistency. But before I get into that, I want to recap where we've been. So we originally talked about getting ready, and we talked about goal setting, and I helped create some goals for you. We talked about time management, how to schedule working, and so your October schedules should have looked different than your September schedules. You should have planned out time for your work. We talked about setting intentions, having that mindset so that you are experiencing the day the way you set out to experience it. Many intentions throughout the day about how you want to experience conversations with people. We talked about knowing your numbers. And so here's where I'm going to have you talk back to me and share within the Facebook group, because the other thing to talk about tonight is how you need the support of others to stay consistent. So I established, based on what Jennifer was talking about in terms of the step into greatness and all the bonuses and where you need to be at the end of December, some guidelines for you guys, some goals. Now, you might have gone past it, or you might have said, you know what, that's too big for me right now. Whatever you set out to achieve is completely fine. But if you want to be able to achieve everything that you want to achieve during this WOW program, then you wanted to use that stretch goal. So if you remember back, I talked about recruiting one person in September, 2 people in October, 2 people in November, would get you your 5 and allow you the time to help build them so they would activate so that you would be massively successful during this program. And if you went beyond that, some of you I saw, wow, recruiting 4 just in October. So by this point, you have a few more days in October. By this point in October, if you want to stay on track with your recruiting, you should have recruited 3 people. So how many of you, raise your hands, have recruited 3 people? High fives to all of you. Fantastic. If you're not quite there yet, figure out what do I need to bump it up in November. We're going to talk about how consistency will help you do that. Then on the sales side, remember we talked about 2, 2, and 2, so that actually 1,000 in September. Then we talked about 2,000 in October, 2,000 in November, and 1,000 in December, so that December didn't have to make it all up for you. So just like you should have recruited 3 by now, you should be $3,000 in your sales volume. Now, again, some of you might be way past that. Some of you might be, ooh, you know what, I'm almost there. Great, amp it up just a little bit. Somebody might be like, wow, I'm really far behind. Don't give up. You still have 2 more months then to really kick it up. You can look at what you've been doing and see where you need to make a few changes. So again, no matter where you are, tonight will really help you in terms of, this call will really help you in terms of being consistent. And you're going to take all the tools that I've been sharing with you, the personal thriving sphere, you can do whenever you want to take a look at where you're spending your time and your energy, looking at setting intentions. That's a lifelong thing that you should be doing. I always know when my clients aren't doing them because they start falling off track. So just notice if, you know what, I'm not experiencing the days that I want, how I want them to be, am I setting my intentions? Am I really setting up my day for success? So let's talk about consistency. Consistency is known as the key to success. On a scale of 1 to 10, many people rank it a high 8 or 9 in terms of how successful you'll be. I know some people think about it that they can, you know what, I'll do 2 hours here, I'll do 2 hours there, or I'll spend a whole day, once a month, and really do work on my business. But those that are most successful actually do consistent action every single day. So because that'll help you form a habit, it'll give you new ideas, it'll give you the opportunity to layer one success on the other. Many successes upon many successes create massive success. So rather than go all or nothing, it's much better, and this is also when you're learning something, it's much better to take small actionable steps or learn small chunks of information every day rather than trying to cram. I don't know if you remember back in school, the trying to cram didn't always work for many of us. So you want to make sure that you're being consistent. Now, sometimes you can be really concerned about how to incorporate consistency. So I'm going to give you some simple ways to build consistency. Because once you start building these habits or these patterns, you'd be surprised at the compound effect. Short, small pieces pay off such big dividends. So the first thing I want you to change, and a lot around consistency, is around mindset. So you set goals, and we looked at time management. So what are the pieces that you need to do that will make you be successful? So it might be, I need to make phone calls. That's a big thing when you're doing sales and you're trying to grow a business. I actually need to reach out to people. The best way to reach out to people is via the phone. Yes, we do a lot online now, and you can do it that way, but phone still works best. Hate to say it, cross industry, it's proven that way. So maybe it's that I need to consistently make 1, 2, 5, 10, whatever is right for you, phone calls a day. Maybe it's that, and so you then look at your schedule and say, when can I do that? It's as easy as that. When can I do that? Now, one of the things that kills that is when you start telling yourself, I'm not motivated today. I don't feel like making that sales call. It's the same thing with, I don't feel like going to the gym, or I don't feel like fill in the blank. Of course, there's days we don't feel like it. But if you tell yourself, I'm not motivated, then it reinforces it. Instead, what you need to talk about is you are motivated to achieve your goals. I am motivated to have X amount of money. I am motivated to have $6,000 in sales volume by the end of December. I am motivated to recruit 5 people by the end of. So those are things that you are motivated for. By telling yourself, I'm just not motivated today, you're saying that you don't have a choice. You have choice. Choice is you can choose to do it or not. But rather than make an excuse and say, I just don't feel like it, is putting, or I don't have the motivation for it, is taking that control. So instead say, I know that if I make 2 phone calls today, I am building on my success. I know that this is what I need to do. If you still are choosing not to do that, that's okay. Acknowledge yourself for it. But be honest with yourself and say, okay, so does that mean that I don't want my goal? Now, I can hear all of you, because I've heard you before, saying, yeah, but this happens and that happens, and I meant to do it, but, something else happened or got in the way. I understand that. Next week I'm going to be talking more about that fine balance between having a life. Your business is part of your life, but that is why if you set consistent time to do something, it's much better to have a time set, and then if something happens, you have a plan B. That's the second thing that you always want to do, is have a plan B. So I'm going to make phone calls every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or every morning, or I'm going to work this office hour, 9 to 10 every day, because my kids are in school, or I've gotten somebody to watch my kids, or whatever it is for you, whatever the time is, whatever the schedule is. If you consistently work that and something happens, then you, one, are not falling completely off the wagon. You have a plan B. If 9 to 10 doesn't work, I'm going to work 4 to 5. Or I'm going to add an hour this weekend, but then actually add the hour in the weekend. Always have that backup plan B, so that if kids get sick, if you have to work extra hours, or you come home and you're just tired, if you plan ahead, that's why it's called a plan B. If you've planned ahead for these things happening, then you're not thrown off track. If for some reason on Wednesday morning you can't work that, your plan B is you're going to work Wednesday night. Your plan B could be that you're going to put in early Saturday morning before your kids get up. Your plan B could be whatever your plan B is. But have a plan. Now, the other big thing around consistency is building momentum one step at a time. As you know, I've talked a lot about moving forward one step at a time. You can't try and change everything at once. But when you have a new routine, So maybe for some of you, this is the first time you've had a set schedule for your business. Maybe for the first time, some of you are trying to also get healthy, so you're bringing a new routine there. Maybe you're growing your business while you're also having another goal. Maybe it's the first time you have actually set time aside to make phone calls. It takes anywhere from, we know the 21 days, but really takes closer to 40. 21 days to 40 days for a habit. So by this time, you've been around 40 days in this challenge, in this Step into Greatness program. So some of you may have been crushing it and you have been consistent, and that's where you're seeing the momentum building. Others of you, maybe you've only been doing it 10 days. Maybe you need to start today. And guess what? You have about 60 days till the end of the year still left. Actually, probably about 66, something like that. So you can start today, and in the next 40 days, it'll become just part of your habit. It'll feel a little weird if you don't do it. You'll be doing it more often than not. So you want to, whatever day you need to start, you just need to choose to start and say, okay, these are what I'm going to put into place. I've looked at my schedule. You know what? Sue had told me a couple weeks ago about this time management and creating a schedule, and I didn't do that. So now every Sunday night, I'm going to create a schedule. Every morning, I'm going to spend 5 minutes setting my intentions. That's a habit. Every morning, I'm going to set 5 minutes and do my intentions. And then I'm going to look at my schedule. I'm going to plan out my day. I'm going to do that every day. So I now have a new maybe morning routine that's about 10 minutes. 5 minutes for intentions and 5 minutes for organizing my day. Maybe I need to get up 10 minutes earlier so that I make sure I have that 10 minutes. Maybe I need to start making the kids' lunches the night before so I have that extra 10 minutes. Whatever it is for you, every single one of you should have this 10-minute routine set up for yourself. That could be your first consistent action. 5 minutes or less for intentions of how you intend to experience today, and 5 minutes for what am I doing for my business today. And you might look at it, you might be going off to a full-time job. And so it might be, you know what, I'm going to take some people's phone numbers with me and call them at my lunch if I can. Or I'm going to do it as soon as I get home. Instead of running in through the door, I'm going to make 2 phone calls before, I've done it sitting in my driveway or a block away from my house, pulling over and making a sales call, following up with a customer support call if you don't know any other time. Whatever it is for you that's going to know that you're going to fit it in to your day consistently, rather than having to find a block of time that's an hour or 2 hours. Find these smaller blocks of time so you're taking consistent action. So I've been talking about the consistency is the key to success. So here's your code word. Your code word for today, for this call, is key. K-E-Y. Key. Now, you might think, does this really work, this consistency? And I will tell you that it does. I'll also tell you some things that will kill it. So let me share with you something I've been doing recently. So some of you who might be watching me outside of these calls know that I host these blog a day challenges. And a blog a day is a lot. It's a lot of writing. I've changed it up so people at least just work on their blog, but I took it on myself for October to blog every day. Do I want to write every day? No. But now I've gotten consistent, and there's been someone else that has been very consistent, and she says, now I'm in a habit of writing. It feels weird when I don't. Same thing for me. I am writing every day, so it becomes more of a habit. It goes faster. My formatting of my blog post is faster. My knowing how to put it up there is gone faster because I've been doing it consistently every day. And as an aside for me, things that I watch is how much traffic is coming to my blog, gone up hugely just through the first, now we're into 3 weeks, but the first 10 days of me blogging, my rankings went up over 1 million. Now it's actually up over 2 million in terms of traffic, which for me is an important thing. That's one of the results, the numbers I need to know for myself. So what I'm saying is, whatever it is, and now I'm going to just continue it into November. I would have never thought I would be blogging every day, but I'm beginning to do it I've become a habit now. I'm just about at that 21 days of doing it, so it's becoming a habit. It would be easy right now for me to stop, except that I would feel a little weird. So it's not completely a habit yet. I got to go to those 40 days, which is why I'm going into November, so that it really feels like something I need to do. Same thing for you. You're going to feel motivated the first few days this is the cycle of how consistent and how habits are built. In the beginning, you're excited. It's a new weight loss program. It's a new way of working your business. It's a new exercise routine, whatever's the new thing for you. You get excited. And then in about 10 days, you start feeling resistance. You wake up, I don't really feel like, going to the gym. I don't really feel like working my business. I don't really feel. And then at 10 days, almost everyone, that's the biggest drop-off time. And that's where people have to restart. If you can get past that 10 to 15 to 16 days and just continue with it, the surge starts up again. And then as you get to that 21, it's feeling more and more easy, more comfortable, more part of your routine. And then you just continue on. So here's some things that can kill it. Unrealistic expectations. That's one of the biggest things around creating consistency is that you feel, as I talked about before, that you try and change too much. You also try and get to the end result immediately. So on day one, I want to make all my sales goals perfectly, or I want to, on day one, recruit 5 people. You try and reach all your goals on day 1, 2, or 3. And so that's unrealistic. And so when you aren't seeing the results that you're setting out for yourself, then your motivation goes down. And, I know any of you who've ever tried a weight loss program, the first days you're pumped and you might see a little bit of loss right away, and then you got the next few days and you're like, it's not worth it. And you just give up. So make sure that your expectations, one baby step at a time moving forward, will help you. The second thing that can kill it is expecting yourself to be perfect. That's really unrealistic expectation. So it's really the same thing as number 1. But you know what? You don't need to be perfect. The thought that you will never skip a day is, unrealistic. There might be a day, again, as long as you're in choice, but it's easier to stay consistent if you don't skip that day, at least in the first 40 days. After that, you've become become a habit that if you're not perfect around it, you won't fall off the wagon. You won't have to start all over again. So really keep yourself moving forward, even if, say you're not doing your full goal on a day. At least take one action to it. Do part of it. If you're not feeling well, do at least something that will help keep you moving forward. It's taking responsibility for being conscious about your actions. So the things I want to leave you with are plan, schedule, identify what your consistent actions are going to be. Don't make them huge, unrealistic actions that there's no way that you can do them every day. Make them doable things, and then if you have additional time on certain days, you do more. But daily, consistent action builds up one upon itself so that success then comes. The other thing that happens when you do these consistent actions, one, it's top of mind. You'll always be thinking about, if you're in the recruiting mode and you're thinking about recruiting every day, when it's not just, on Tuesday at 4 o'clock that you decide to recruit. When you're talking to someone, the conversation flows out of you much more easily. You invite people to join you at Athena is much easier. You're reaching out to people. You carry material with you all the time, so it's easy. Again, you've planned, you've prepared. You're also top of mind for other people, but your business is top of mind when you're taking small, consistent steps every single day. I'm going to leave you with an Oprah quote, which is, "Good luck occurs when preparation meets opportunity." Now, I might have butchered that a little bit, but I don't think so. You know how we always think, oh my gosh, that person is so lucky, or everything goes their way? Everything goes their way because they have prepared, they seek and they recognize opportunity, and when the two of those meet, that's when good things happen. And I want good things to happen for each and every one of you every single day. So again, thank you so much for allowing me to be part of this journey with you this fall, and I look forward to connecting with you on our next call and also on Facebook. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.
Thank you, Sue. I wrote down and I underlined it. Consistent action every day equals a habit. If you're working towards big goals like Talia's backyard for our boy, or Sarah's OJ for my beach day, or Katrina's dildos for wedding bells, you have to be consistent. And here's something I'd like you to think about. Our busiest season, Valentine's Day, which is the, month of love, Cupid's holiday, is only 4 months away. If you want to get your piece of the millions of dollars that consumers spend on Valentine's Day, you need to have parties in January. If you want to have parties in January, you need to have parties in December. If you want to have parties in December, you have to have parties in November. Every month when you work, you increase your likelihood of booking parties in the coming month or months. If you stop working, it affects your sales way down the line. And a wise woman once told me, direct sales is like a fire. You have to keep the fire burning if you want to stay warm. If you let it go out, you got no fire and you get cold. It's much easier to consistently throw a log on that fire rather than letting it burn out and starting again. So keep your fire burning, vow to work your business consistently, and stay warm. One way to keep your fire burning is to participate in next Tuesday's November Business Building Blitz. It's really, I would say, one of the most critical blitzes of the year, because you fill your November and December, which in turn fills your January and your February. The truth about direct sales in December, let's talk about it, is that it only works if you overbook it and hostess coach like your business depends on it. Remember, December fills your January, January fills your February. February is Valentine's Day, the time where you can make a huge amount of money. When I was doing parties, I would always book the 10 days leading up to Valentine's Day. I would work every single night leading up to Cupid's holiday. One year I sold $10,000 in 10 days. Making that kind of money is exhilarating and intoxicating and habit forming. Another way to really take your business to the next level is to host a Now event in November, or to help a leader who is hosting one, and to invite your circle of influence to attend one. There are women out there like Katrina who are looking for a way to pay for their big day, like Mandy, who have never had a honeymoon, who deserve one. They're out there and they need a way to make more money. They want a way to have the best that life has to offer. They need a way to pay for it. We have a way to pay for it. So I hope that you will be part of Now and Recruit a Rockstar. Remember that Bermuda Recruiting Challenge. Use it to your advantage. Recruit in November and December and give someone the chance to win that cruise while giving yourself a chance to win one too. Stay focused on your WOW and War goals. Work consistently. There is a trip to Hawaii up for grabs here, folks. Hitting your WOW and War goals gets you entered. And that is one huge dream come true prize that one of you warriors is going to win. That's right. I'm challenging you to take it up a notch. Well, now it's time for me to give everyone on the call a chance to win a genie because I've been feeling pretty magical energy lately. You can add this powerful toy to your demo so that your customers will be oohing and ahhing. Your stock, sell it. Make that $85, put it in your pocket, or raffle it off for a lucky hostess. Use it as a team incentive. Give it as a holiday gift, or keep it for yourself. How can you win it? Simply share your aha moment by midnight tonight via the Google Docs submission form, and you'll be entered to win the genie for free. Okay, let me give you the final code word and the instructions to submit it. Ready? Fill out the Google Docs survey that was included in your email. Share your aha moment. I want to know what you thought of this call. You can find the Google Docs submission form in the email that contained this audio link, and it has also been posted in the WOW and War Facebook groups for your convenience. Click on the link, fill it out completely. It takes a matter of seconds, and you only have to fill out one, and we'll enter you to win the free genie. Well, if you can't listen by midnight on Warrior Wednesday, that's okay. We understand you're busy. You have until 11:59 p.m. on Friday, October 28th to complete and submit the Google Docs survey. By submitting this information, you will receive credit for calling in. And Sue, of course, will be back next Wednesday with call number 6, the final call in this session. Wow, that went by fast. One last thing, tickets for the December BBW are on sale now, and we'll be raffling off more trip money that night for the Bermuda trip. I hope that you'll be streaming or live. It's going to be a great, fun night. Chrissy Shedd is going to be conducting a BBW on how she runs her ordering room, while Kim Boulay will be presenting her entertaining goddess demo for your delight. Now, here's the final code word you've been waiting for so patiently, and the final code word is WORKS, WORKS. WORKS is your final code word. Thanks for being here, everybody, and Goddess bless.